Well, what a night that was, wasn't it, hockey fans? Day number 12 of this year's Stanley Cup Playoffs included a pair of Game 5s and a Game 6. So that's one possible elimination game because both Game 5s were in series that were 2-2. So, of course, there was two games in the East, one in the West, one from each division, Atlantic, Metropolitan, and Pacific. So let's talk about what took place during this insane day. Ooh, the Canadiens, they're really they really are a force to be dealt with. That was kind of proven about a couple months ago, and now here it is. April's almost over, and the Canadiens are one win away from advancing. Their first one win away from their first playoff series victory since that magical 2021 run, and they're beating the team that halted that run 5 years ago. Another one goal game, another 3-2 score, the fourth in a row. Yeah, this series has been very close, very, very close. But Montreal, they seem to have the right stuff. And we'll see what they can do on Friday. Friday is game 6 in Montreal, and the Canadiens have a chance to finish off that series and send the Lightning home packing. Or the Lightning could force game 7 back in Tampa on Sunday. It's going to be very interesting to see what takes place. Of course, the half hour after that game 5 started was the first game 6 of this year's playoffs. The Battle of Pennsylvania marched on yet again with game 6 of the Penguins Flyers series. The series shifted right back to Philadelphia after Pittsburgh took game 5. So here we have it. The Penguins took 2 games straight after trailing 3-0. And they had a good chance to really, really put Philadelphia's backs to the wall. Did the Penguins do it? Or did the Flyers finally finish it off? Was the third time the charm for them? The game went to overtime, scoreless. Who put it in the net? As the song goes from an old Popeye song, what you need is brotherly love. And it was the city of brotherly love that got it done. That was a hell of a shot from Cam York after Porter Martone was saved by Shelofs. Um, the puck was dropped in Pittsburgh zone. The puck went to Cam York and he shot a long one and it went in. So the third time was the charm. The Flyers got it done 1-0 in overtime, and they defeated and eliminated their in-state rivals. And as a result, the Philadelphia Flyers advanced into playoffs for the first time since 2020, which was the bubble year, and yeah, so Philadelphia, they're in round 2. They're part of the Elite Eight, and this victory completes one of the 4 division finals. In the Metropolitan Final, it will be the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers going at it with the right to represent the Metro in the Eastern Conference Final. That's going to be an interesting series. And for the Flyers, it looks like they really are playing with house money. They kind of weren't expected to be in the playoffs, let alone be in the Elite Eight. But here they are. They're going up against the number 1 seed in the East. That's going to be quite a tall task, but I sense that being a close series. Things in the Metro are always very close. So, and as for the Penguins, well, it was great seeing them in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years, and I was really hoping they'd advance. But they are still looking for their first playoff series win since 2018, which was against the Flyers. So we'll see what next year brings for the Penguins. Oh boy, you couldn't hang on for another 53 seconds, Mammoth. Even worse than that, in double overtime, you're on the power play and you somehow lose, even with a shorthanded goal. You know, I don't know. Now, I shouldn't be throwing proverbial stones at Utah because, again, this is their first taste of playoff hockey as the Mammoth. But you can't be messing about like that. Too much messing about is not why Utah is facing elimination now. But on the good side, they're gonna be at home for Game 6 on Friday, so we'll see how that goes for the Mammoth. I like to think they'll force Game 7, and then all bets will be off. But it should be interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, Vegas pulled it out with a shorty in the second overtime, 5 minutes and 28 seconds into period number five. I think this is the, if my count's correct, this is the third double overtime game so far. I love it. A lot of overtime played. So that's what happened. That's what happened on that day. And now here's what's in store for us hockey fans. Well, technically later tonight because it's well past midnight out here. And I just want to say there are now five series left in the first round, and they are all guaranteed to go at least six, but we'll see how many of them go seven. And out of those five, we have these two that'll serve as the slate for Thursday. Well, later tonight, technically. Both games in the West, both on TNT. Starting off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. It's Game 6 in the Central between the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. The series shifts back to Minnesota with the home Wild up 3 games to 2 and looking to finish it off. The Wild are looking to win their first playoff series in 11 years, while the Dallas Stars look to steal this one and force Game 7 back in Dallas. And of course, if the Wild win, that's who we face in the Central's final series. And then after this game, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, it's Game 6 in the Pacific between the Oilers and the Ducks. Of course, the series now shifts back to the OC, to Anaheim. And the Ducks lead that series 3 games to 2. They're looking to clinch that series, win their first playoff series in 9 years, while the Oilers look to force Game 7 back in Edmonton. And of course, if the Ducks win, they'll wait out that Vegas Utah series. And of course, if Utah actually wins the final two, the Ducks win, the Ducks will have home ice in round two. So that's gonna be interesting. Oh, and regarding these two series, if either one or both of them go the maximum seven, the Game 7s from these series will take place on Saturday in Dallas and Edmonton. So that's the story right there. So that is my recap of day number 12 of this year's playoffs. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And of course, I'll be back this time, well, later on tonight to recap these two Game 6s, and it might come with news that we have our opponent for round two. So stay tuned.